I'm very happy to introduce Antti Kivimäki from Nokia Siemens Networks Managed Services. He will enroll as a program manager, tell you about the cooperation BaseN is doing with Nokia Siemens Networks under a rather open theme named Sustainable Networks. Mika, the floor is yours.
So, my background on this industry is that I've been working for Nokia and Nokia Siemens since 1992, and I've been working in a couple of years in America. I was in Dallas, not in Colorado. I've been also a couple of years recently in Australia, Sydney, watching these dust happenings there. It looks like Mars anyway. It is nice red rock in the middle of the country. And I've been working both in the product line side of the business and also working in the managed service side of the business, where we actually take over the network of the operator and then we run it on behalf of them. And I'm going to cover a couple of aspects which leads to the final statement of our future with the BaseN as well. So we really have to work a lot of effort to go from the traditional way of thinking, outsourcing customer networks, using the best available tools to do multi-operational activities, multi-customer activities. We used to always think that one customer, one solution. Now, in our days, we have a big, large operator centers where we manage multiple customers on single location. And that puts us into the challenge of how we will do it. It's really a lot of effort to be done. And by the way, that's not a Tiger Woods presentation. Some marketing guys need to change that one, I think. Anyway, so when you talk about these communication service providers, that means us, like a Elisa or TeliaSonera. For us, it is mobile vendors, fixed network providers, and even the broadband. So we have a big variety of the customers that we need to look after, multiple technologies, and so on. So one of the greatest challenges we face is that we need to work with the multitude of technologies, starting from the fixed networks, having some new versions of the equipment, very old equipment. We have also GSM networks, 3G networks, LTE networks coming in. So that puts us a lot of pressure. Also moving and combining the broadband customers, fixed operators, mobile operators, forming one single entity of providing services to the end users. Also, when we look at the operator domains, it used to be so that each and every of the operator was running their own business. Now, more and more, starting from the IT side, outsourcing became one of the challenges, and it puts a lot of emphasis for tool development as well. Also, the whole revolution of the IP industry, it is clearly visible more in the 3G domains. I don't know how many of you have been using video technology or IPTV or browsing through over the mobile, different flash things. So that's becoming like a natural part of the daily life. We use mobiles for quite a bit of things that I was never dreaming of when I was at school. I got my first mobile when I was 24, something like that. So it shows that when I was in the studies, there was no cell phones either. Oh, there was a Micro was my first computer at the school. Also, if you really think about the end users, people are not only getting lower with the expectation of the quality and so on. For example, when they browse the internet, they expect it to happen fast. If you have a very bad line of connection at your home, it is very time consuming, you give up. You will not want to work. Also, that puts us the pressure that we need to increase the bandwidth all the time in the networks that we offer end-user services. And it doesn't come with one player. We have tens of different vendors, technologies that we need to manage all the time. So when we look at this challenge, we have to look at what are the players on the market, what are the equipments we need to take over. And more we will be going to the areas that if we actually Nokia Siemens networks, we typically run a network that is part of the network is our own equipment, and then we have some multi-vendor equipment. We go in markets today where it's basically no engine equipment. We take it over happily and start running it. So we need to have tools for that. They have to be really solutions that enables us to integrate very quickly in a flexible manner and offer a scalability that we need. Starting from the little customer, wider customer with the multiple equipment, and the deployment have to be fast as well. We don't have a time for months and months to get the basic capability in place. Also, if you look at the vendors here, they are all providing some kind of IP-based services, but there are 300 other ones which will be on the market. And we never know which one is there that we need to look after. So therefore, we need to also make sure that when we look at our own capabilities, the resources who are doing this activity, we cannot ask them to do and learn every single product with their own specific equipment dealing with this fault management data, that performance data, and then you have 80 different systems that you need to look at. Typical case scenario is that when we take over the operator, we have between 70 to 250 applications which has been developed over the years. Many in-house tools, I could say maybe it's like a 25, 30 bigger OSS systems. And also when we deal with the networks, they are in different life cycle as well. Some of them being at the end of the life cycle, meaning that they need to be replaced. But the trend is more and more, it's growing IP side all the time. More and more IP boxes for different purposes. That's really the key when we look at for short-term future, that IP-based services is really becoming us a biggest challenge, and that's the area where we want to be also differentiating against any other vendor. So therefore, as a Nokia Siemens network, then we approach the solution so that we have a full coverage of the operational centers across the globe. We centralize operations to few locations. Currently we have India is one of the big hubs covering the Asia Pacific and India networks. We have 2 big operating centers, not only for the size of the network, but also for the business continuity and the disaster recovery purposes. And that's also very critical that you plan all the time your services so that you can run the network even you actually lose a complete site of where your main monitoring centers are. So it's full business continuity, full disaster recovery option as well. Also in Europe, we have one location in Lisbon, and we are just about to launch another 2 locations worldwide to make a full print covering also North America, Latin America, and also moving more towards African countries.